Hello and welcome to the DVD commentary for My Party. This is Phil Davis. I made this video in 2009 and I basically see it as a compilation of gestures that were decided on intuitively. So aside from the video being a demonstration of my subjectivity, everything in it is pretty arbitrary and any read of it would be valid. So I suppose any work is subject to any interpretation that it's given, but it kind of bothers me with this piece because such little thought was put into it. I'm really embarrassed to show it. I believe the goal when I made it was simply to just create a weird video. I think I thought the weirder it was, the more the unconnected, the more unconnected the little narratives, the more non sequitur little zooms and emphasis on certain objects that there were, the more potential there was for there to be a quote unquote read, and the more it seemed like an art piece. Now, granted, this was like my second video I ever made, and as embarrassing as it is to watch, I can accept it for the most part as part of a long and ongoing list of immature and undeveloped bad student work. But I also see it as an opportunity to draw new content. Instead of seeing the video as simply naive, I can see it being reused by myself later as an example of a thoughtless work that passes itself off as a cogent work. And I think that there's something to be said for that. Yeah, like why is it being played backwards right here? Again, simply just to be weird, I think. Not much more going on than that. Alright, stop. So that little zoom in on the bong was pretty pronounced, and I'm wondering what that's all about. Probably nothing more than a shout out, just an opportunity to do something risky. I like to think of it now as like making fun of myself, though I think at the time I just put it in there so I could tell people I got into UCLA because of a video with some ghoulish looking guy hitting the bong. Now I'm in the video, now I'm holding the bong, dressed in some kind of toga thing. And yeah, what is that all about? So now it's all saturated and super colorful. Probably just me thinking it looked like some cool 90s video or like kind of rave-esque. Like basically the way I see this work, what I think informed this work could be could accumulate to like a very short list of things I thought were super cool at the time. Let's see, the 90s, weed, rave culture, but in like a very sarcastic way, or even like 90s raves, which I don't know anything about, but I seem to pick up that was in the zeitgeist of people my age, having some kind of fascination with the early 90s because we were all like, just forming our memories at that time. And just, kind of regurgitating that impulse. Here I'm alluding to marijuana, but I'm not actually saying that I'm talking about it, but yeah, again, I don't know if I'm making fun of myself or if I'm really into. Wait, what the? Christmas time is coming up. I don't know what that's supposed to mean with like ghoulish guy with a mask on, like a guy with a mask on smoking weed with another guy wearing a toga. I guess it's just myself saying, you know, I guess Christmas time was coming up. I think I made the video in December. So it's kind of taking it out of this narrative of the two guys, and bringing in the voice of like me, I guess. And I guess it's playing with some kind of sense of time because it was current when I made it because Christmas was coming up. Yeah, here's some more weird, meaningless text, and I'm showing who's under the mask, because that's what art videos do. And there's a guy that you think was me, but it's not. Wait. Okay, stop and rewind a little bit. Stop. So yeah, the boy here is just another example of me just putting something in there because I felt like there was something important in that, or that it represented some kind of artistic statement, like, oh, a boy, so there's some kind of implication of like some sort of I don't know, Freudian thing or something, some kind of like gender issue, or like relating to my own male experience. I'm talking about it in such a simple way because that's the way I was thinking of it. Like, I was just throwing in little signifiers that really meant nothing. I just felt like I had a keen sense of what people wanted in an art video, or what kind of signified an art piece, but without really making having an investment in what those statements are, those signifiers. And I think I still kind of do that, but I think what I'm doing now, I'm just realizing is I try to make this the content of my work. Like, I try to make this naivete the content of my work. Yeah, nice one. Okay, whatever. Here we go with the rave stuff. I'm just remembering now an artist statement I had to write for a class around the same time that I was making this video. I called my work a cacophony of genres, and genres including rave culture, stoner culture, goth culture, all the stuff I mentioned before. So here's the rave element. Yeah, so that's just one more piece to this big mysterious puzzle that constitutes, a really great artwork. Again, here now I'm going to start talking about. I'm going to do this monologue I wrote that is a kind of free form kind of thing, and this is where all really the meat of the bullshit art language comes in. So we'll just listen to this.
To use tonight. Question not my motivation, because my unctions have no intrinsic value or virtue. Work of mine is not matter. It is pneuma, and therefore
like no intrinsic value, no virtue, that kind of stuff is all just totally ripped from this this essay by art critic Dave Hickey, who wrote this article called "Frivolity in Unction." And I like to pretend at the time that I really connected with that essay and really understood it. I don't know.
until I don't. And as a result, I cry every few years.
And then I started interjecting, like, with the language of that essay, kind of like hip hop, like very stereotypical, kind of like stupid, like hip hop colloquialisms, and you know, like kind of references to I think I referenced like a Drake song later, because you know that's cool, right? Like Drake, oh that's cool.
My viewers know I'm killing it. And more intelligible than your average war casualty, but not to be till the day that they want me to be bucolic, but
at the time I felt very confident in what my work was about. I felt like I could just make silly, funny, kind of dumb work without really having to explain anything more than that. And I felt very confident in doing that, and I didn't feel like I needed to explain myself. Perhaps it was, you know, a symptom of inexperience or naivete, or possibly it was the most inspired and, you know, free period of my artistic career. I had no problem working in a purely intuitive way. I miss that confidence when I look at the work, but I also shudder when I hear some of the art hot words I threw in there. I did this like every other part of the piece intuitively. It seemed to me, I guess, that in order for the video to be a piece of art, it needed some key terms that the viewer could pick out. Apparently it seemed fair to me to interject words like visceral and regurgitate phrases like, my unctions have no intrinsic value, which is kind of funny because that's kind of what I'm trying to get at here, is if these unctions, if these things I'm saying have any value at all. But at the time when I put those in there, it was solely motivated by feeling the need to add some kind of deeper content and legitimize the work as an art piece. I had no problem putting in these empty expressions without any kind of knowledge of what they really meant, or consideration of if they were the appropriate terms to use. And the only difference between then and now is that one of the difference is that I'm able to tell that these terms were used unfoundedly, or maybe I take issue with it now. And the plan is to dissect the piece and find out if this realization of these fallacies in the work, if it discredits the video or if it shifts the value of the piece from being successful on its own merits to being successful because it highlights like a conjecture in art viewing.